Intellectual pack, assemble. It is time for my review of Twisters. Just finished watching it. So, for the first thing we're going to discuss is the opening section. So, they basically go after a tornado, and they're young at this time. And, you know, they're going after an EF1, but it ends up being an EF5. And and a lot of people end up dying in this, except for two. One of our main characters and one of her friends, and which pretty cool how that works, and pretty interesting how well it showed the devastation a tornado can cause. So that unbroken for me. Now, second thing we're going to discuss is their meetup again. So, Javi, which is his name at the time, which is this guy's name, one of the survivors, is finds Kate, who is the other survivor, and she's working in an office, kind of like, still dealing the weather, but behind a desk most of the time. And Javi mentions that he's still storm chasing, but he's with this storm part or something, like group. And their rivals are this group called the Tornado Wranglers, I guess. And that's led by this other guy named trying to remember his name now. Hang on. Tyler Owens. And he is one of the other main characters. Played by Glenn Powell. And kind of rival and a rivalry, kind of, I guess. So it's kind of like what's his name? In the original, there was this other guy that had a red truck as well as this guy does in this movie. And he's portrayed as a real asshole. At first, Tyler Owens is portrayed the same way. Of course, later it becomes a misunderstanding kind of thing. A lot of will they, won't they between Tyler Owens and Kate. Which I kind of liked that a lot. It was a very interesting premise, and I loved how that turned out. So that part also unbroken for me. Now, the final thing we're going to discuss is the closing portions of the movie. Now, for those of you who have not seen Twisters, spoilers. Now, they end up in a theater, and of course, they're showing a scary movie, kind of like in the original that when they were. And a tornado comes in, basically takes out this nuclear or like can't like electricity plant, I guess. Bunch of explosions and stuff. Um, and it becomes like a fire tornado for a little bit. Um, and then like Javi and his group kind of are ahead at one point, and the car literally flips over that they're in. Kate is kind of panicking for her friend, and I was kind of panicking along with them, to be honest. Um, and then it takes out the entire plant, and then heads towards this town where at first they show that these kids are playing a minor league baseball game, and the girl that's up at the bat realizes, like, she looks over and it's like, oh crap, like and like she gets ready she just drops her bat and everything, like, just, yeah, and then just starts sprinting out of there. Tyler Owens gets taken down by some debris that's flying all over the place. Gets his leg trapped. Javi and his cohort are still heading towards this thing, but Javi stops because his friend is like, or his co-worker or whatever is like telling them stop, and like he stops for like a second. The guy gets out, and like Javi screams, "Tell this guy we're done!" Like, and he just takes off, spraying the guy with a bunch of mud, like all over his entire leg and face and everything. Like, oh man. And then tell this guy, like, the guy being Riggs. And he is being played by David Bourne. Yep. And this guy, like, he screams, like, how he screams, "Tell him we're done!" Like, and then just takes off to help Kate and Tyler. And then they go into the theater. They're looking for a basement. No basement. They decide to hunker down on the seats, basically grab onto the seats and everything. And it takes pretty much the entire front of the theater into the tornado, which is, I think, like an EF5 by this point. Humongous. Like, it is tearing everything up. But at this time, Kate has already ran off. Like, they're wondering where she goes, and they look out this door that's in the theater, and they're like, oh crap. Like, because they see her in Tyler's truck heading at the tornado, and she locks down the anchors with the truck that usually is supposed to keep it secure. Spoiler, it doesn't. It like moves the anchor in the ground and then just flips the truck repeatedly after Kate has just pretty much slammed on the button to release her, like, formula or equipment that, like, is supposed to kill the tornado or tame the tornado, I guess. She does this, and like, they find her after, and she's fine. Like, oh man. And after all that willy won't they, like, Kate's about to go back to New York, gets into the airport, and Tyler just, like, he puts the anchors into the cement where this guy at the airport is trying to tell him, move your truck, man. Like, but he anchors it, and like Javi sees him go into the airport, and he's like, attaboy. Like, and we finally get the, will they, won't they kind of thing. And that was just, wow. What a movie. Amazing movie. That part, unbroken. Now, this is the point. All three of those subjects don't matter. Now, the verdict. Twisters, 2024. My verdict. Unbroken. Easy. I'll see you guys again later on, possibly, for a X-Men First Class review, or who knows, maybe something else. I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out. But as always, though, remember, stay safe, stay dangerous. Love you guys. Later.